It's Carlton hosting the Sydney Swans at Optus on Saturday afternoon. And good afternoon and welcome to a beautiful day here in Melbourne as the Sydney Swans enter the arena for this round 16 clash against the Carlton team, which has been under a fair bit of pressure this week. Tony Shaw joins me. Tony, it's a lot of talk about Carlton this week with Brett Ratton retiring as well, but Sydney seem to slip under everyone's guard, and that's the way the whole season's been going.
Yeah, Paul Roos has done it very well, hasn't he? They're going for top four, so they have to win here today, but Carlton on the rebound, and they've had a rugged week on the track, as you said, with Dennis Pagan, and I think they'll come out firing, there's no doubt about that.
A record loss, 116 points against the West Coast. Did they have to go through this process of a slog at training just to remind them?
I think you can do it other ways, especially like do one-on-one and things like that. But when you play match practice, you've got players coming from different angles. You can be tackled from behind, and then you become susceptible to injury. And so here's Anthony Koutafidis gets taken. If his leg was caught underneath, Justin Davies cut his eye. That's not a bad problem. He'll have a couple of stitches now there. But this was the big one. Lance Whitnell taken down. As I said, he was caught from behind, and that means now he's out for the rest of the season. I think you can find other ways of doing it.
Yes, tragic news for Carlton fans with Whitnell going down, but it will be very interesting to see how they come out at the start. We'd expect a pretty fiery start from them.
Oh, yeah, I've got no doubt. I wonder, and I don't think they have got the skill to beat a Swans side at playing good football at the moment. But as you say, whenever your club's questioned, you have to find out, and you have to start the game early and start it hard, and I've got no doubt that will happen.
Well, let's take a look at the respective teams for this afternoon, starting at the Carlton forward line. Favola did try hard last week, like Whitnell. I mean, they did have a few good players last week.
Yeah, Adrian Hickmott too. Favola, he's been pretty good this year. Adrian Hickmott has to improve. Shaw will probably play on Favola, but Saddington can go to him if he becomes a problem.
The Sydney backline has been terrific. I mean, unheralded a couple of names like Bolton and Barry, they're having their best seasons, and Ty Kennelly's a revelation.
Oh, Ty Kennelly's been sensational. Leo Barry, big thumping left foot kick, and he runs the lines, and that's what all the Swans players do under Paul Roos.
Anthony Koutafidis in the middle. Now, you reckon he might go with Adam Goodes?
Well, who's going to match up on Adam Goodes? It couldn't be Matty Allen, and it can't be Barnaby French because he'd be too mobile. Anthony Koutafidis, Kirk could have the job on him because he's fairly tall also, so that can be a matchup. I'd love to see that matchup though, Koutafidis and Goodes.
Can't wait. Beaumont McKay, once again,
Great player.
Week in, week out, he plays terrific footy.
And Jared Waite, look, he's been a sensation this year also, shows he's going to have a future. Jude Bolton, hasn't he been an improved player for the Swans playing across half forward?
What about the Sydney forward line? O'Loughlin, Hall and Davis. There's some class there.
There's some class. O'Loughlin got back to some form the last couple of weeks. Davis, can kick goals from outside 50. And Bustling Barry, as they call him, tough and hard at it. But I think an underrated player too, Barry Hall.
Yes, he does some team-orientated things that a lot of people don't see, doesn't he? The Ruckman, French taking on Ball. It's an interesting comparison for their seasons. Ball's having a good one. Barnaby French probably needs to step up. He hasn't taken a mark, any sort of mark, contested or uncontested, for over a month.
Well, that's amazing, isn't it? And that's 14 games against 15 with Jason Ball, but it's about 50 or 60 average total possessions and hit-outs, balls ahead. Barnaby French has to have an impact, so does Matty Allen for Carlton to win.
He has to give people like Camperelli and Hume first use of the football. Williams and Creswell, two experienced players there, and they do the job. The respective benches for Carlton, Allen's going to have to help out French, as you mentioned. And Nix, Sunquist, Schneider is a very good player.
Well, when you think that Matthew Nix is on the bench, you think Sydney Swans are travelling pretty good at this stage, aren't they?
They certainly are, and they'll be pleasing their coach, Paul Roos. And here he is with Wayne Schwass.
Complacency, is that something that you've addressed with your players?
I think one of our strengths this year has been just taking each opponent as they come. I mean, we haven't really sort of got ahead of ourselves, and the guys sort of don't tend to look at the opposition and say, look, we're playing Carlton this week and West Coast last week and Collingwood next week, whatever it's going to be. So it certainly hasn't been a problem for us this year. So I just hope our guys go about it the way they have. And if we do and they do, it should be a really terrific game.
It's been a much publicised week for Carlton on the training track. Do you expect the same this afternoon?
Definitely, definitely. As I said, I mean, when teams get belted like they have, and everyone's been through that, we've all been in games where we've underachieved dramatically. I've done it as a player, and you know the next week you're going to be completely different, and there's no doubt in front of their home crowd. They've still got a lot to play from. Obviously, spots on the list, next year for the Carlton boys. So I certainly think the first quarter would be,
Beautiful day. We're underway for round 16. Carlton taking on Sydney. Ball at ground level, and there's Jason Ball thrown to the ground by Barnaby French.
McKay's gone to the dangerous O'Loughlin. Ball takes the front position. Davis off the ground. Carlton forced the ball back towards the half-forward line. McKernan got an ugly bounce. Coming out hard was Wiggins, met very heavily that time by Leo Barry. Hands came from Crouch to Ty Kennelly and pumps the ball back, looking for Adam Goods. Tried to take a one-hander, had it pinched. O'Keefe, a very underrated and dangerous player. He's a beautiful kick. Looking for Barry Hall playing in front. Or Thornton peeling for the free kick. Barry Hall, and he's got it. There's a push out and going to O'Loughlin. Full of Carlton supporters. Famous grandstand here at Optus Oval. O'Loughlin to kickstart the Swans from 45 metres out. Straight through the centre.
Swans with the opening goal. Ball and French go at it again. Davies towards Hume. Getting in first though was Matthews. Creswell there. A little give on the up from Kirk was good to Saddington. He's released. And he's looking for Adam Goods. Big spoil over the top. That came from Prendergast, but there's still a chance here. O'Keefe to the run of Adam Goods. He runs to 20 metres out and bangs it through. And it's another terrific goal for the Swans.
Well, he might not always kick goals, Barry Hall, but he's got a real presence about himself in this Sydney Swans lineup. He used to have the boxing gloves for the tattoo, didn't he?
Yep.
Barry, what's he got there now? What's that, a giant spider or something, is it?
Who knows, KP?
Backtracks and retreats to Ty Kennelly, the young man from Ireland. Hammers the ball in. Here's Goods. Got it. He'll pole well in the Brownlow medal, Adam Goods. He's had a fantastic year.
Fantastic player. I think he's the modern-day ruckman because you don't need 6'8", 6'10" players. Players of 6'4", the height of it, and his agility to get round or ability to get round the ground.
Some slack checking there by the Blues. It's taken by Creswell. So he's right on 50, the veteran. Announced at the start of the season that this was going to be his last ball from 50. Steps around and hammers it home.
French, well, that's all clear from the umpire. Moves forward. Saddington got rid of Angwin illegally, according to the umpire, and Angwin will take the free kick. Saddington not happy. Careful. And he just got back the ball on the full as Angwin goes towards Favola, but chipping in front is Hickmott, and he's got it. 18 goals, 9 for the season. No problems for Hickmott. Carlton have got there first.
So it's a boundary throw in on 50. All to do the ruck work. Did it well too. Finds Kirk. Squeezed up on the boundary line. Looks for O'Keefe for those quick hands across the nicks. Rockets the ball off to Matthews. 45 metres out around the corner. Great snap. Bangs it home.
Prendergast to the knock, but Goods was going through for Sydney. Chance for Fosdyke. Hugs the boundary, keeps it moving forward. O'Loughlin got rid of McKay. Sits for him, he knocks it on cleverly. Lewis Robert Thompson. Bolton. Hall. 8 goals, 24 for the season. Hall from inside 50 for Sydney's 5th. No problems for Barry, and he's pretty pumped.
We talk about a lot of young kids coming through and being drafted, but there's a lot of players who get a second chance at AFL clubs. 82 is the number for this week's round. Here's Kirk, breaks the tackle, and Kirk kicks a goal. What's been disappointing so far, I think, with Carlton this first quarter is that they haven't really put any pressure on Sydney.
Nah.
No physical pressure, no pressure to sort of have Sydney kicking, you know, sort of hurriedly. Most of the time they're kicking with plenty of time, or handballing with plenty of time. I reckon Dennis Pagan would be really disappointed, because when you lose by 116 points the week before, generally you might tire as the game goes on, but in that first quarter you're so desperate to come out and really make it a contest. But so far, not much from the Blues. Prendergast, the juggler, couldn't take it. Crouch has pinched it. Sydney Swans players run hard, and again a loose player is Adam Goods. Just drills the ball in. He'll find O'Keefe. Drops a sit-up. Picked up by Lewis Roberts Thompson. Barry Hall is going to be very unself. He sets it up, and Snyder kicks a goal.
Now we know that Carlton are a long kicking side under coach Dennis Pagan, and they don't handball a lot. They've had 3 handballs for the quarter.
They haven't had much of the ball to handball with, Matty.
Yeah, no, there's Hickmott.
Well, our stats show they've had 26 disposals for the quarter now. That's one of the lowest I can remember. We're nearly at quarter time.
A couple more there, though. Here's a chance for... It's a free kick. Going back, it's Carlton free kick. Taking his time. He's on 50. No problems for the answer. He's got it. Hurleyhan kicks in for Carlton. Looking for Koutafidis. Forced out by Goods. Matthews back to ball. Back through the middle once again. Creswell. They share it again. Creswell just chips over the top. Good vision. Choice of two. Kirk or Nix. And the latter takes the mark. He's right, looking straight at it. Umpire mark gets. That may not be 15 metres. It's just outside 50.
Thank you.
Well done, Tony. Straight through, no problems.
Barry Hall brings it back to Bolton. Just weighs up the options and then just belts the ball back. Here's a chance over the top. Was O'Keefe being pinched by Creswell. Quick snap. What a goal.
Lappin held, free kick. Carlton on to go on with it. It'll come back to Matty Lappin. As Allen and French swap. Koutafidis left standing, and he was a sitting duck really there as Saddington came over to take the mark. This is where Sydney like to share it with hands. They'll use any player that's close. Williams puts O'Keefe under the pump. He's got to beat two Blues out there. Hurleyhan and Angwin closing. They want to keep it in, and they do. Hurleyhan does well, lays it off nicely to Favola. Favola already has one this afternoon. He's lining up for goal number 40 for the season. Just inside the 50s. Not bad off the boot. Terrific goal by Favola.
But Schauble just ducking across in front. Takes the mark. Then finds Schneider, who comes away from half-back. It makes you wonder, Tony, how the Swans can find this loose player. Schneider runs hard. Young man has been a star his first season from New South Wales under-18s. Hammers the ball in. Taken by Lachlan. It's kept alive and can kick a goal. Unbelievable.
Davis. Good handball in the end. Got through the traffic. Kirk. Oh, that's good work. Back to Davis. Sydney with great confidence. Beaumont got in front of O'Loughlin. Back to Davis. Spins out of trouble. Looks up. Spots Creswell and finds him. From 45 metres. Creswell has kicked his second. Sydney get another.
$11.470 Sydney. The Blues 3-5-23. And Adam Goods comes charging in. Then takes his own crumb. Hammers the ball back towards the half-forward line. Sydney Swans absolutely killing Carlton. Numbers to the ball. Desperate. Running hard. Using the ball well. Koutafidis didn't really hit a target that time. Looking for Camporelli, who was caught high. Pinched that time by Davis. He wants to give the ball off to Williams. Williams will run into an open goal. 15 metres out and hammers it home.
Second half to get underway. 12-5 to 3-5. There's Kirk for the first possession. Sydney go forward. Bolton first to the ball. Tackle. Ball spills free. Prendergast. Long ball. Favola and Lappin. Clever mark to Lappin. Wheels around. Gets it in quickly. One-on-one contest. Ball going back. It was Angwin. Favola around the corner. Oh, he's got three. And that's a terrific start for the Blues in the second half.
It's on 50. Allen to do the ruck work. Came over the top. Hammered back that time by Crouch. Here's a mark taken by O'Loughlin. Inside the centre square, Sydney players run hard. Look at Adam Goods, streaming from half back. He's a running machine. And he's marked right on 50. Goods wants to take him on. They back themselves in the Sydney Swans. Barry Hall marks unopposed. Just 5 metres out. Ambles in and kicks a goal.
So the margin back to 54 points. Lawrence Angwin off the ground. Now here's the attack on the footy from Angwin. And his arm gets caught up.
With Shawball.
So meanwhile, Favola's marked it just inside 50. The distance will not be a problem. The question will be accuracy. And the answer has kicked it.
Back in. Here's Kuda from behind. Was held, pushed off balance.
They're pretty close to a free kick. Interference before the ball got there.
Leo Barry was minding Koutafidis. Boundary throw in. Ball somehow toe poked it. Kennelly's caught. Dumped.
Well, I just wonder whether the crowd... He did have prior opportunity because he's taken a couple of steps when it 1, 2, 3. He could have got a handball to that. He has tried to change direction.
I wouldn't have thought that was prior opportunity. I reckon that was a bit tough.
Well, if you've taken 3 steps, I think you've got time to get rid of the ball. He's trying to break away from a tackler, and the tackle is laid fairly. I think it has to be holding the ball.
So a chance now for Callum Beasy. Yet to kick a goal this year. He's played 5 games.
Well
He's
done.
a dead-eye deck. That'll lift the spirits.
Goods. Prendergast, who already laid that tackle on Kennelly, chases. But Goods finds Matthews on the outer side, who goes forward to Creswell. Chips it back through the middle. Poor kick, terrible kick. Davies went without it, though. So a couple of errors there, and Davis slips it over to Fosdyke. Long ball. Knocked on cleverly. Goes to Hall. Williams slips it over again towards Schneider. Wonderful finish. Good team goal by Sydney. His second.
With the sun in his eyes, coming across his Shawball. This is where the Blues have got to be alert. On the rebound, the Swans, they run hard, they find space. Matthews well tied up by Hume. Wants to get back. But again, Leo Barry sets it up short, finds Nix. From outside of 50, he's going to find O'Loughlin. This to put the Swans 52 points in front. Hammers it home.
Koutafidis for the clearance. Favola underneath it. Ball spills to Hume. Cuts through the pack. Gives it over to Houlihan. He gets support out wider. Ball goes in long. Saddington with the spoil. Kennelly. Has he kept it in? Yes. Carlton's still alive here. Houlihan. Back to Prendergast. High ball. Beasy underneath it, and he has got it. Strong mark by Beasy. Beasy for his second. Carlton's fourth for the quarter. No problem whatsoever.
Again, hasn't played a lot of football this year. He's had injuries in the early part.
Callum Beasy, the young boy from Swan Hill, has booted 2 goals. His first 2 goals in AFL football in this third term. Koutafidis was caught high, will take the free kick. Swans by 46 points. Kuda starting to strut his stuff. He's had 16 possessions. The irresistible force for Carlton. Favola! 42 goals for the season. Going for his 3rd goal of the quarter. From 47 metres, leans back. It's a great kick. Blues within 40 points. Just weighing up the options. Kicking into the end where they've got the sun in their eyes, the high flyers. It'll make it difficult. Prendergast taps the ball on, taken away by Hume. Starting to work hard at the bottom of the pack. Beasy! Now this young boy, where's he from? He has just bounced out of the blocks. He's from Swan Hill. He's kicked 2 goals in the 3rd term. He looks a goer. Wait to Favola, pushes off. Couldn't take it. Looking for Hickmott. Thought he might have been held. Shawball comes through hard. Favola tackles at ground level. Good hands taken away by Hickmott. Kicks a high ball into the pocket, getting back. Franchina. He'll be looking to go wide. Finds Prendergast. Prendergast bends it back.
Well done.
Kicks a goal. There he is. There's Prendergast. As Wayne Schwartz just told us, might have pinched somehow a nerve in the back, the neck at the same time. Carlton, another goal here. And the Blues just might sense victory. High ball. Davies, a high flyer. Thumped away that time. It's a free kick. Carlton have got a free kick. They go up as one. The Blues within 26 points.
Jason Ball gets it out of the centre. Schneider left it go for Creswell. He's going to get it back. You want to get onto his left? No. Yes. Now he does. Touches on the ground. Sets up a home. Holding free kick in the goal square. Now, will the goal be paid?
No, free kick to O'Loughlin.
Yeah, no, it's the kick to O'Loughlin then. O'Loughlin with the check side.
Oh, Hume's too close.
From 3 or 4 metres. Beautiful finish. Almost. Hume stayed down. Reaps the reward. Just kicks into space, really. And that's a good bounce for Lappin. Hickmont just trying to get it out to him and does so eventually. Lappin right on the boundary. Centering ball for Vola. Right behind Brendan Favola. Number 5 has become number 6.
They still might yet pull off a remarkable victory. Hume hammers the ball back. Front edge of the centre square. Shawwell drops it. Taken by Waite. A couple of the youngsters have really lifted this second half for Carlton. Beasy and Davies and Waite. Here's Camporelli. He's caught high.
Free kick.
He's got a free kick. Let's see the reaction from the Robert Heatley stand. Here come the Blues.
Gee, you need turning points in games. That might have just been one of them. Fantastic effort.
Stoppage is all important in this final 7 minutes. Who's going to get the clearance? The handball came out to Davis off the ground. Can you believe it? It's the goal. Could be one of the best goals of the year.
Well, Tony, tell us about this. Nick Davis, the skills of Nick Davis. Can you believe it?
Well, Robert Thompson has just handballed in the space, and I think Nick Davis thought, if I take this ball, here's the big handball, running on it, if I take this, I'm going to be tackled, and he has kicked it out of mid-air.
He's kicked a drop punt.
And that's one of the best kicks out, to split the middle.
Taken away by Carlton, taken away by Houlihan. Hammers the ball back to the edge of the centre square.
He was looking for Hickmont, who just went to ground. Sydney have the numbers here. Goods back to Bolton. Carlton just trying to squeeze them up here. Williams has some room. A little look away give over to Kirk. Kirk through the middle this time, Bolton. Allen comes onto the ground as his opposite number 24 finds O'Loughlin. He's now got 5, and he's given the Swans some breathing space. Over the top, it falls towards Davies. Gave it to Beaumont. Kick around the corner only as far as Ben Matthews, who has had a pretty good day, Matthews. And so is his coach, Paul Roos, as the Swans have their 11th victory for the season. They started off brilliantly. They led by 54 points at half-time. We thought perhaps Carlton were in for another huge drubbing, but they really did show something in the second half. They got within 19 points, and with plenty of time left on the clock, perhaps a chance of victory. But in the end, the final margin, 5 goals, 1, 31 points.